Welcome to the Alain Elkann interviews, an unprecedented window into the minds of some of the most well-known and respected figures of the last 25 years.
Today we have Lorenzo Fiaschi with us. Lorenzo Fiaschi is the owner, the founder of a very prestigious art gallery that was born in San Gimignano, the city of the towers in Tuscany, Continua. So how did you start all this?
Galleria Continua started in 1990 in San Gimignano. It wasn't to be a profession, but the idea, it was about passion, taking energy from the heritage of San Gimignano, Renaissance, and the beauty and landscape. So we decided with my friends Maurizio and Mario to open a space to continue through art, a good energy, trying to build a moment to continue from the past to go to the future. That's why the name Galleria Continua.
But you were art historians,
I studied philosophy and I did the art academy in Florence.
You wanted to be an artist?
I did the shows. That question is really intimate because when I was young, I did the theater shows like a painter and I became a father, and also I opened that space with my friends. So a lot of things together.
Who do you started with in Galleria Continua? Which was your first?
This is another strange beginning because we don't have contact with anybody in the art world, just a passion. And so for the first show, we decided to do something really strange. Now everybody knows because we did a documentary in Sky Art.
What did you do? Something strange?
We did paintings, Maurizio, Mario, and me, with our girlfriends.
Paintings with your girlfriend? And then?
And then we did the first show. We gave a name of that thing. We suppose the artist called Miles Say. And then we did the first show and we sold something. We was in lire, 50,000 lire or...
And this was in which year?
1990.
But when you started to have artists, because...
But after that show, we put many manifesto in the university and the art academy, and we are trying to find some artists that never exposed. So we decided to have the same experience, first experience with new artists. So we did it for 1 year, and then we start to look around and to see what we love. And you can imagine many artists say no, because our space was really small, and also because it was in San Gimignano. And the identity of San Gimignano was about tourism and commercial place. But explaining the idea why we opened a gallery there, why we decided to do culture in that place, in San Gimignano, etc. Some artists said, good idea. So they don't see if we are rich or if we have collectors or it was good for them. Just they love to support the idea. And some artists like that was like Michelangelo Pistoletto, Daniel Buren, and that kind of things help a lot of our history because when we start to do Buren, the art world started to say, what happened in San Gimignano? So this was really important, the trust from those artists.
These two artists. And then what did you do afterwards?
So we did also another project that was in the line in our idea. We did the Arte all'Arte. It was an incredible project, related to the landscape, the architecture, inviting like 6 artists, 1 Italian, and each one have to come from different countries to create like a salon to speak together. And we invited also 2 curators, 1 Italian and 1 from outside. And we did it using different towns, small towns around and San Gimignano, Siena, Montalcino, Bonconvento, Volterra, Colle Valdesa, Poggibonsi.
Yes.
This project was, we did it for 10 years. And it was incredible. We invited always 3 more famous and 3 super young. I say super young, like Olaf Eliasson, nobody know him, or Tobias Herberger, or it was like that period was 1996 until 2005.
And who were the famous?
No, Olaf Eliasson became famous.
You said
the famous,
three.
yeah, we did it with Kabakov, Soliwit, Pistoletto, Kunelis. It was a long list because in total we did with 60 artists, 10 years, 6 artists. So at the end, the number
And you
is large.
discovered some artists? Pennone, you had Pennone? No.
We worked with Pennone also. We did a big show in Uffizi with Pennone.
But that's something afterwards.
Yeah, and it also on the side, because we love to do private project. It's not only with the artists that we represent.
Who are the artists now that you represent?
And the list is long, 70. We represent almost 30 years Anish Kapoor.
But this is for Italy.
No,
totally.
Everywhere.
Kapoor.
Yeah, we can work everywhere. Kapoor, Anthony Gormley, Pascal Martin Taillou. We have the main gallery of Michelangelo, Daniel Buren, Ai Weiwei. We are the first to start to work with Ai Weiwei because we opened the first Western gallery in China, in Beijing.
You opened a gallery in China?
The first Western gallery in China in 2004. And in that occasion, I met Ai Weiwei and we started to show him when nobody knew him. We took also a lot of risk. When Ai Weiwei go out the cell, we decided to do one-man show in Beijing.
And it went well?
I was really worried, but at the end, nothing happened. I think a friend of mine working the Chinese minister said they decided to leave us relaxed because for them was too much. The risk was too high if we have the problems because we are well known outside China. So if you imagine Galleria Continua is closed or because Ai Weiwei, blah, blah, blah. So they prefer.
So Galleria Continua is not only in San Gimignano, right? It is in China.
No. We opened the first Western gallery was in China, and then we opened it in France.
In Paris?
No, first in Le Moulin, the countryside. Le Moulin. We opened the first gallery in the world in the total countryside with the cow around. You can listen. And it's 30,000 meters square. It's huge. And then we opened in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, in Dubai, Havana, in Cuba.
And you still have them?
Yes. And in France now we have 3 galleries. One in Le Marais, one in the Matignon.
Have many more artists that you represent?
Yes, the list is Leandro Ehrlich, Castenoller, Eva Jospin, J.R.
And now you have a big show coming out of Michelangelo Pistoletto.
Yes, in Paris tomorrow we'll open a big show speaking about history because we have also a Picasso work, Fontana work, and we do 4 conversations. One with Caroline Christophe Barcagev, one with Aubrist, Marie-Laure Bernadac. We did a show with Michelangelo in the Louvre with her. The last one with Laurent Lebon, the president of the Pompidou, and he was also the director of the Picasso Museum.
Yes, of course. So these are conversations with Michelangelo.
During the show. It will be the 14, 15, 16, 17 October. Always 11 a.m., 12. And at that show, there's a new series of works of Michelangelo and also some painting with a QR code. Because after the talks, there is 4 paintings. Each painting with QR code. When you will do the photo, you will open a talk.
So you use
you
already use artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And in the other places, you have interesting shows going on?
In Le Moulin, we have a Cuban show with 20 artists outside Paris. It's 50 minutes outside, 1 hour. Cuban artist. In Cuba, we have Osvaldo Gonzalez. He's a Cuban artist. He started with that material because he don't have money to buy colors, canvas.
There is a market in Cuba?
No.
I mean, so why do you have a gallery?
I continue to be strange. I love to learn first. I love to create relationship between differences. Cuba is a really difficult island, no? For the embargo reasons. So my idea was to build the bridges to help Cuba, between Cuba and the rest of the world. Culture bridges. So we show artists in Cuba like Kapoor, Pistoletto, Buren, and we show Cuban artists outside Cuba. It's a little bit more a philanthropic idea
to make a bridge, right? And how is the Chinese market going? There's a crisis in China.
Yes. Now it's difficult. In the beginning was really, really difficult because the attitude of the Chinese collector was like, if the price was 100, they ask you 35 or 40% discount, like the collects, no? And for us, it was impossible to do that. So the beginning was really hard. And then step by step, we create a market and we bring the first Chinese collectors in Art Basel and outside China. So we have some friends.
And do
now.
you also deal with Chinese artists?
Yes, Ai Weiwei, Xinjiang Shenzhen, Huang Hui. No, we have like 10 artists from China.
And what happens in San Gimignano?
San Gimignano is the heart.
And do you still have shows?
Of course.
Yeah.
San Gimignano, we start with this garage with 500 euro, the beginning. And then after 2 years, we move another space, Arco de' Becci, we still have. The first one not. And then after 3-4 years, we took a risk taking the theater and cinema in San Gimignano. So we are happy because the owners of the spaces trust in us because we have give us the space, but we don't have money enough to pay the rent. But we promise you we'll do our best to pay after 1 year each month and to continue to pay.
And it works.
Yeah, well, it's really important that step because the space is beautiful, the artists will enjoy to do something.
And what kind of exhibitions you have now in San Gimignano?
San Gimignano, we have many, because now we have many spaces. There is the theater and cinema, we have another space in the place, we have another space on the last floor in the Piazza della Cisterna.
Yeah, I visited them, I came with my children.
We have young Kosovar artist, Bonazzi, we have Jorge Macchi, Sabrina Mezzacqui, and Ai Weiwei.
How do you live?
Now?
Yeah, how do you organize it? Where do you live?
Havana.
You live in Havana?
Yes, from July. And the last 6 years in Paris, because I met Laura, my wife. She's also a curator. So we had 2 wonderful babies.
In Paris?
We met each other in the art conferences 11 years ago. And after 4 years, we had a baby. And then we decided to live in Paris. Because I met Laura in Paris. She was living in Paris.
But she's Italian.
No, I met in France, but she's a Cuban.
That's why Cuba.
Yeah, no, Cuban, for you probably is very interesting to know that. Cuba, the gallery don't start for Laura. Start through Laura because she saw the installation of Michelangelo Pistoletto, Third Paradise, in Marrakesh, Bayan. And when she understood the sign, she said, wow, this is perfect for my country, United States and Cuba, the extreme. So she has to do a performance in Cuba, and she had the idea to do on the sea between the United States and Cuba, convincing a fisherman with the boat to draw the sign on the sea. You will see in Paris, we did a huge one on the wall. Incredibly, we did the 16th December 2014, the day after Obama called Raul. After 60 years without connection between the 2 countries.
I mean, because of this work of art?
We don't know. Because there was a lot of communication about that, a lot. And we did it during the afternoon, during the morning, day after, Obama called Raul Castro to say, come on, we have to find a way. That's why we said, oh my God. So we have to continue to build bridges between Cuba and the rest of the world.
And so you live in Cuba now.
And now, this is for other reasons, because in May, Laura told me, someone proposed me a project to do in Cuba, and I will refuse that because it's too complicated, it's far away, 6-hour difference.
So you temporarily live in Cuba?
No, I don't know.
You have a house there?
Yeah, we bought about 3 years ago. And so she said, boy, it's complicated to do this project that I started already in Cuba. It's impossible. So I said, why is it impossible? We have kids in the school in Paris. Your life is more in Europe and China. And it's too complicated. And I said, no, Laura, wait. I don't want to listen in the future, in 10 years, to say, I didn't do that because of my kids. I didn't do that because to you. No.
Let's go to Cuba.
September, the kids in school in Cuba. I said, no, you're crazy. Are you sure? Super sure. Because you're younger than me. I did a lot of things. You have to do your life. So the happiness is to be happy together.
How can you run China,
Cuba, etc.?
Cuba, Paris.
No, with directors.
And San Gimignano.
With the directors everywhere, and so we manage with them.
But you travel all the time.
Yes, no, we travel a lot. Not only for the galleries, also for museum shows and visit studio, collectors' friends.
And what about this new tendency that art has to be black, art has to be transgender? Obviously, this has changed a little bit the picture, no? Of the art.
Of course, for me, the art is a rainbow. We need space for everybody. But for me, it's about also quality. So if you choose only female artists because you have to be politically correct and you will forget good art if a man, this for me is a problem. But it's true, we need to open more the door for female or transgender. We need to have open eye and open heart.
So you think this is an excessive moment, but it will then...
Yeah, it's an excessive moment to create a new balance. Sometimes you need to be excessive to have something that we need. No?
And how is the market of art? I mean, they said there were high prices. Now there's an idea of a little bit of a crisis, no?
But it's normal, and I am not worried, because probably our philosophy is quite strange, because when I do something that I love, and I have a spaghetti plate, I can manage, I am happy. It's not about we sell less. We have to manage. Now there are the wars, complications. We have to manage. We start with nothing. So for me, it's not that, oh my God, the life is the life. The really important things are love, friendship, and in salute, health.
Health. But you still love your job?
No, a lot.
What do you like the best? To find new artists?
To see people happy and enjoy looking the project we are doing. When they say, wow, to create emotions.
And what is your experience in Cuba giving you? I mean,
Cuba, for me, is an example. There are a lot of problems, the dictatura, economic problems. But the big surprise is the people are always happy, big generosity. Unbelievable. And the more intelligent and a lot of knowledge everywhere. It's a pleasure to speak with them. It's a pleasure.
But it will be different, you think, in the future? Things are changing?
They resisted for 60 years, but the COVID was more strong than the embargo. So it's really difficult now for them. And if Trump win, it will be really, really difficult. I hope everything can change in the best way. So with the DNA of Cubans, not become Miami or become American. So this is my hope.
Remain Cuba.
My hope is this, because the soul of Cubans is fantastic.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Alain Elkann interviews.